So let's say if I want to do this sort of table, okay, so table top first of all. So I will go into sketch, and first of all I want to put a table top, which is going to be a rectangular shape, right? Zoom out so that I can make something bigger. So let's say 1600 1600 and 1000. That's the table size that I'm looking for. Exit, and I want to increase it. You know, the MDF material that we look for in the fabrication lab, it's 20 millimeter. Okay, so imagine two pieces of MDF which is going to be 40 millimeter. So that's the 40 millimeter. Okay, and then I want to put a chamfer on top. So select a chamfer, select this face, and I want to put 10 millimeter chamfer or 15. So you can see now it's nicely chamfered. Okay, in the bottom I want to put some holes. So select sketch, select the bottom face, and now let's put hole here, hole here, hole here, and hole. The size is going to be something memorable that I can remember. Okay, so I will put 100, or let's say 125, and again I'll simply make all of them equal. Okay, so that's equalized. Also I want to put some dimensions so that it doesn't move anywhere. So that's 250, fine. This is dimension here, that's 250. Is it already there? Yes, it's already there. So I need another dimension. So whenever you try to over dimension it, it will tell you it's already there. 250, and likewise you can put dimensions for these as well. So there are different ways I can dimension, but we will see in the other session. Okay, so that's going to be 250. You see there is a difference. 250 is fine. 250, enter, enter. So that's all perfectly fine. So exit, and now I want to extrude. Select, 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 and select. I've selected all of them, and see it's coming out, but I don't want the legs like this. I want it inside. It's going to be minus 20 because altogether the size is 40, isn't it? Yeah, the thickness, and that's why I have kept it 20, so halfway through the tabletop. So I will save this as a tabletop. So tabletop, save. I will start a new drawing, so new design, and this time I want to use this revolve command. So I will simply select create sketch. This time I want to use this plane, and I want to create the legs, and you can see leg is going to be about 750, so 750 here, look. So I will start with line, draw a line around, I'll type in 750, 750, and the size, the circle of the size of the circle is, I said 125. So this is going to be 125 divided by 2, half of 125, yes. So 125 divided by 2, so I will select there, and further this is going to be 20 because that's the height I defined. And if you break the line, that's fine. So you can simply move this inwards and I can carry on drawing. So I hope you are imagining what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create the leg. Let's create some sort of movement in the leg. And that's
But doctor, shouldn't we add some tolerance in order for the pieces to fit together? Or in fusion, it doesn't matter.
we can put the, which tolerance you mean? The
Because the circle you placed where was 20, and now here you're also using 20.
I didn't get that. This 20, you're talking about this 20?
What was the radius of the circles we
Oh, that was
extrude cut?
125. Look here, you're talking about this, yes? That,
Yes.
yeah, okay. That was 125. So let's go back to this, edit sketch, 125. So in the revolve, you're creating half of it, because you will see what happens now, okay. So once I'm happy with this, I can put some dimensions. See, it's moving at the moment, so I can put some dimensions, but let's exit, and I want to select revolve this time, and it says axis. I want to select, so whole object is selected, section is selected. I want to select the axis, and it's going to be this, and you can see what happened. That's revolving 360, and I would click OK. Although it's quite fat, yeah, and it looks like made from steel, as shiny, depending on your computer graphics. So that's my one of the legs created, and I'm happy with that, okay. Unless I want to modify something in the sketch, for example, I will go in edit and I will create some more pattern here. I want to create a pattern of bigger size, and I will trim. See, I'm trimming, and you can now imagine what I'm aiming for. That fillet there, that fillet there, that fillet there, that fillet there, okay. I want to simply put a rectangle like this and trim. So trim, 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 and I will exit the sketch. Now it has again transformed into something else, right? So that's how the revolve works. Everybody understood revolve?
Yes.
I would save the leg, so that's table leg, and save. Now what we want to do is we want to assemble this leg into the table. In order to do that, I will have to start a new drawing, new design, go into assembly, so select insert component, and I want to select my folder where I said semester 3. I've got tabletop that I want, and I will insert. So the tabletop is here. If I wish, I can simply move up and down using this arrow. up, down, and then side by side, and so on, whichever side we want. Okay, I don't want any, and I'll simply click OK. So our tabletop is here in assembly. Now we need to click again, insert component, and this time we want to insert the leg, and I would click OK. The leg is here. I'll simply move it somewhere this side, and I will click OK. Now we need 4 of those legs, right? So here is the leg. I'll simply right click and move and copy. So can you all see move and copy? So I will select move and copy, and here create copy. So it's creating a copy, and this copy will be here, and click OK. And I want to do the same, move and create copy, and click OK. Now this copy is inside the other one, overlapping, so I can move it. See, so what will you see is this one is not moving because it's the first part that we imported. The first part that you import remains fixed, and all the other parts will be movable. So you can simply move them wherever you like as you want to assemble. So again, I want to make another copy because I want 4 legs of this table. Select OK, and now that's the other one. So we got 4 legs now, yeah? Okay, so now what we need to do is, can you see this diameter? This diameter needs to be aligned with this diameter, okay? This face, the top face, needs to be aligned with this bottom face. Have you all understood this?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so what we will do is, let's select the constraint component, select constraint component, and then select this diameter, this diameter. It automatically goes down, and it's not finished yet, so I will select, I'll click add constraint, and this time now I want to select the top, and I want to select the bottom. So as you can see, that's installed, and click OK. Likewise, now let's select again constraint, select this top face, and select the bottom face, and again constraint, select one of the diameters, this diameter, and then it will allow you to select the table diameter, and that's another one done. Okay, likewise we want to select this one, so select that, and now select this diameter and add constraint. Now it's this top face and bottom face, and click OK. Finally is the final one, yeah? If you want to make sure what we are doing, simply let's select this face, click constraint component, and select the top. But as you can see, look, it's not aligned, yes, because 2 diameters are not mating. So click OK, add one more dimension or constraint. So this is the internal. If you can't focus, you can simply zoom in and then select the top and click OK. Our table is now fully installed or assembled. You can see now none of the parts will move. If any part moves, that means that it's not correctly assembled. Okay, in relation to the tabletop, the legs are too big, right? and therefore I feel we need to make these adjustments. So save it first of all. I would say full assembly and select save, right? And what we will do is we'll go back to the leg file, and I want to adjust the size. So I will simply right click, edit sketch, and now I want to simply reduce the sizes here. So I could move it in, I can put the dimensions, remember. So I could put dimensions if I wish, but I just want to show you one of the functionality. So we can simply okay, it will change the profile completely, right? So that's 60. So I don't want to, okay, I want to keep this lip because that's the important part, that's the technical part, okay, that we need to keep. And I will click OK. So it has transformed into smaller one, and I want to save this part. Select save. So after saving, if you go back to full assembly, it has not changed, is it? But can you see this exclamation mark, update one child, because these are the child of this tabletop in this assembly. So as soon as I click this, it has updated, and now it's now smaller. It's looking somehow reasonably acceptable, but you can see what happened. Yeah, so it will update the drawing or things automatically. Assembly. Now once you have assembled it, I can simply click OK, save, and I can go into animation. I'll go into animation, and this time I want to show the disassembly of this part. Okay, so one, you can simply auto explode because I have not selected any assembly, so I want to auto explode. Can you see what happened? It's auto exploded. Yeah, if I wish, I can simply make the adjustments as I like. But if I don't want this, I can simply undo, and then I can transform each part as it will come out. Down, that way, down, down, and this way, down, that way. Okay, that's the disassembly of the part. And now you can see if I change, click OK, sorry. So I can assemble, disassemble, and so on. Okay, exploded. So that's how you create the exploded view. I think I should stop here to give you a chance to digest what we have learned. We can look into rendering as well, and you can see that it will change the color. We can simply apply different materials and so on, but we will look at it a little bit later. Okay, in the following session, if you wish, we can simply look at the different materials that could be applied. Stone, wood, for example, wood. I have not downloaded any of the wood except from one, for example. So I can simply drag and drop, and it changes to the wood color texture, and the legs still are not the right material. So if I want to download, say, pine wood or oak wood, pine, let's say download oak, pine, and we can simply apply to the leg. Not a good combination. Okay, and accordingly you can simply, so in fact this session is recorded, If you wish, you can later on, first of all, understand what we have done in the cover, what we have done in the tabletop, tabletop, what we have done, how we made use of revolve, extrude, and how we assembled the part. If you want to go back into design, go back into design, and this is what you will see. The material is still applied, and save it, and I think that's about it.
Doctor, I have one last question, if possible. Yes, when you created the sketch for the legs of the table, you created an exact fit for the diameter of the circles, the holes, and the leg.
Yeah.
So will that create any problem if I, for example, added tolerance to create a smoother fit?
You see, Ruba, at the moment, whenever you design, you will design the same size, exact size. But then when you're talking about the manufacturing detail, and you will study this in semester, next semester, possibly, when we calculate the tolerances and stuff. Okay? So you will learn how to calculate the tolerance for different sizes. So depending on the joint, depending on the material, as a designer, you apply the tolerance. Okay? And that's what you will learn later. At the moment, we want to just get the job done, or we want to learn how we design the basic parameters for the product. Okay?
So wait, so Fusion and any other 3D program, it doesn't really work with tolerances? And if I added a tolerance and then added assembly to connect, it will show me an error?
It will not show an error, no. It will still do it. So for example, if I go back into the
So
leg,
isn't it better to do it from the beginning rather than editing it all over again after I want it to be
true,
manufactured?
that's right, yes. You're right. And therefore, later on, when you start your project, studio project, for example, okay, I would recommend you to work out the tolerances, because, in fact, let's say here, this dimension is 62.5. So we could simply put the dimension, let's say we want to make it 62, okay, in order to make that. So now this has become 0.5 smaller, yes?
Yes.
The whole is 65. So click OK. So design has changed now, and click Save. When you go back into assembly, it will not give any drastic problem. You see, all it will do is it will show. So let me see if I could find section view, fit. So it's still visual, shade, wireframe, environment, graphic effect. I will have to search for the section, but in SolidWorks it's quite easy to see the section. Look at, no. So when we look at the section, it will show the gap. Okay, so let me wireframe. Can you see here?
Yes.
So
it's fine. If you try to move it, it won't move?
No, it will not move now. For example, I want to pick up and look. You see? Because it is aligned with this face, the top face, okay, and the diameter. So it looks at the center. So center of this circle and center of this circle, cylinder. So centers are aligned, and that's why it will show this 0.25 gap on both sides. So this is 0.5 gap that we left. So this is 0.25 and this is 0.25, right? That gives 0.5 gap, and it's good, easy for installation. So when the assembly people will be assembling it, all they will do is they will put either, and that's why I created the correct size. Why? So if it's a correct size, it will be snug fit, it will be tight fit, and it does not require alignment or anything. Because if you leave this sort of gap, for example, 0.5 gap, it can be that it go loose, you see. So this is where the tolerance comes into picture, but this is something advanced that I don't want to discuss at the moment, and let's focus on learning the 3D modeling skills, right, rather than going into the great technicality of the design that you will learn
Yes,
in the
thank you.
advanced studios. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're happy with this, then I think we can close the session. I believe, I hope it was somehow useful. It gave you the exposure to different modules of the Fusion software. So I could simply go and create the manufacturing drawing for this directly. So it says full assembly, visible, and so on. So I will click that, and now it gives me an assembly drawing, and I can take it as isometric this way, or different isometric views that we can take, northwest, see this sort of view. In addition, I was looking at other function as well. So let's say this is going to be 15, 1, 5. Why can I not? That's bigger, and I'll drop it there. And there is an option to show the exploded assembly as well, that I'll need to search, and I can give you that sort of option later on once I find. Okay, so let's stop here at the moment. Last time I saw it somewhere, but that's the assembly. And in fact, this sort of the objective of this sort of drawing is to show the disassembly of the actual what do you call, the assembly drawing, but I cannot see that option at the moment, so I will have to find it. Okay, but you can create the full assembly drawing as well from here.